And record our first test using the lab. The first thing we got to do, you can never create a test without a module. So we'll go here and click new module and note that I'm in the navigation view that we will always be. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a simple navigation module. It's going to contain some very simple tests where I'm clicking around the interface, not doing much, okay? So I'm calling this navigation, I click submit, and then I'm going to say, hey, what am I going to do inside of this? I click on it, I create a new test. You have a number of different test types here. Don't worry about that. We'll be concerned by the default one, which is the regular tests. We're going to create a new test, and I'm going to say navigate sidebar. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a very simple record test where I navigate in the sidebar and I create a validation, basically an an assertion. So remember here, assertions or validations, that's the same thing. So what I do is I click this record button and I will just simply click here in the left hand side, and then I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and I'm going to use this button here, the validation button, to create a validation. Okay, so as you can see, I can click around in the tool and I can kind of mix actions with assertions. Okay, so I'll click and assert, and basically what I'm doing is I'm clicking the top of every module and I'm making sure that basically the heading is right for all of these. Let's stop there, see what we have. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to play this back. So you see, this is very simple record and replay functionality. And then we're going to look at, first of all, what happens when I play this. Well, as you can see, everything is good. You see a little green thing saying, okay, this was correct. So what we've done here, we're saying, okay, the click was successful, meaning the action click, which is basically an event, was successfully executed. But then we also have a validation that was successful. Two things to note, which is different here. If you look at this kind of element path, which is in element here, you see how the path is different. It's kind of human language path. It says basically click introduction. One of the big differences with the Boozang tool is that we use natural language for our locators. And in this case, it makes it very, very stable, these tests. But it's also very important to be aware of that the tests are kind of human readable in this case. The other thing you might want to note is that when you've run this, it doesn't go away to some cloud server or anything. Everything is actually executed right here in my browser. And then later on, when I hand it over to a CI server, that would be a different thing. But this is not triggering anything in the cloud. You could do tests on your local host here. And this is a very important distinction between a lot of cloud automation tools, that we are actually just working in your web browser.